all gon' stare, we all gon' ride. Say you gon' ride, say you gon' stay.
Today, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports.
A new season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading them out, a two-year starter at Ohio State and second overall pick in the draft, CJ Stroud.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6. Stroud. That's caught. Allen Robinson. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
This is caught by Robinson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
Here's 2nd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes
trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, just an excellent play there by the defense to not only pick it but take it back, because Charles looked like they were in a groove passing the football, several completions until that mistake.
They certainly did appear to be locked in, and with how this offense was moving along, I know we certainly didn't expect to see a pick to end the series. Whatever the cause was, maybe they tipped one of those scripted plays, maybe the defender just made a great read. It has certainly quickly changed the tone of this one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But 2 kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't. I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now seen some make the switch. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about double zero, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Now it's Peterson. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out, a man who has led his team to the conference championship game the last 2 seasons, winning it 2 years ago. Here's Joe Burrow.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd down, here's Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Burrow. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Deep to return is Darius Davis. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with White. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
His throw incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Stroud. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. What a career he continues to have. That catch is number 815. That ties him with Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp.
And just think about this. The only people ahead of him in the tight end position in catches, Antonio Gates, Jason Witt.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
So the Vikings bringing the offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here. Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away. They stuck it in the end zone. Keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. For the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Stroud coming right back after the pick 6. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. Now he's free at the 35. He may go. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. T. Higgins, 75 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. It's Mixon on the counter. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Second and 9. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. Running one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Burrow. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Davis now to return it. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Chuck Clark. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The second down throw now from Stroud. This is White on the screen. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football. as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Here's Stroud. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the 1st round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the 1st round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top role, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now a 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll fake the jet sweep and go play action with Burrow. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Mixon is in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Tucker now to add the point after. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete there to Thomas. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL started. Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, is what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Burrow on his toes that time as they get the 1st down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Now it's Burrow. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact, but that time they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape, because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Incomplete. He couldn't work free from his defender, and now it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Trying to cover Cooper there a little too closely.
And he's such a tough cover because he runs his routes so well. Hard to stay with him and hard to figure out exactly where the break points are. And in this case, he created another pass interference call.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They'll give it to Mixon. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Play action. It's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. They run for it with Mixon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Joe Mixon, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So that, Charles, a big decision there on 4th and goal, and it works out.
And that is an example of a coach who's confident in his team. He didn't look at it as a gamble at all. He looked at it as belief. Great starting field position. Let's go ahead and deliver. And they do.
They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's complete to Robinson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Okay, so roughing the passer, and I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week 1 is your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is a unit that's depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 3rd and 3. Stroud working out of the gun. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. T. Higgins, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Buccaneers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Aubrey now for the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good return for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
More. You talk about fantasy a lot, but why don't you just play?
I'm not good enough to play a fantasy game. I enjoy watching
you do it. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now this offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. It looks like we'll have to wait another week to get our first halftime report of the season as we move right along to the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
Now Burrow on first down. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 30. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Oh, Cooper with a nice grab. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a 1st down as well.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now it's Burrow. Flush to his right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Joe Mixon with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. That time a 9-play drive, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. T. Higgins out on offense for the rest of his teammates for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this?
Oh, he sheds himself free. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Still going inside the 20. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here is 3rd and 5. They're passing here. Joe Burrow able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Flushed out right. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, it's Stroud. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and 10, it's Stroud. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. T. Higgins with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Buccaneers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Claybrooks going to bring this one out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Burrow looking to pass. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Burrow. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. Dancing to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that 1st after the D blanket his receivers. That's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. 27 yards there, a first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Running left, it's Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Mixing up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Call it a big loss of 10 there. And it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Tucker's kick is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Stroud's throw caught by Higgins. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. Caught out left side by Robinson. They'll wind up getting just a yard. and it's second down. So a nice throw there. And, CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
Now, you know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come, and with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Again, it's Stroud. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on fourth down, but come up empty. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's going to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Here's a give to Mixon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. It's Mixon on the counter, and he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They'll try and run with Mixon. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. We know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.